Hello everyone, welcome to the Buzz the Prey Manga. Today we continue the latest Global Freeze chapter, rewritten and edited by me in English for a smooth reading experience. All visuals and story flow are personally edited to give you the best manga style storytelling. Support the original creator by checking the official manga. So let's dive right into the today's chapter.
Chapter 2657 Counterattack 1. Zhang Yi sat unhurriedly in the center of the living room on the snow-white leather sofa, the soft touch of which made his body relax. Others gradually took their seats around the area, and if there weren't enough seats, they brought out small stools. Yang Xia and Zhou Haimei went over to prepare hot drinks and snacks. Xuanwu's spirit body hovered in midair, and everyone's eyes were fixed on Zhang Yi, wanting to ask him 1,000 questions. Zhang Yi lowered his eyes and didn't look at them, so everyone had no choice but to keep quiet for the time being. After Yang Xia and the others brought over hot drinks and snacks, and everyone drank them and relaxed, Zhang Yi slowly began to speak. As you all saw, I encountered some special things on my planet. There was an ancient civilization there, and I obtained their technology and resources. Zhang Yi didn't say anything specific, and there was no need to tell anyone else. After all, Xuanwu was still an outsider. Xuanwu's spirit looked at Zhang Yi, knowing that Zhang Yi wouldn't say much to his face, and simply asked, "Now that you're back, what are your plans?" "Revenge for revenge, grudge for grudge. I really enjoy taking advantage of the weak." But Zhang Yi's gaze shifted to Yang Xinxin. "Let's talk about Wet Woman first. What did they find out in her mind?" Yang Xinxin has been using her mental energy to organize the memories she just acquired during this period. She looked up when she heard this, her gaze sharpening for a moment. "The military strength of the Zepin Kingdom is more troublesome than we previously estimated." She spoke slowly. "Of the three pillar gods, the god of the nest, the sun god, is already dead in your hands, brother Zhang Yi. The remaining two are a Manhwa and Takem Masubi, whose aberration index is approximately between 50,000 and 56,000 respectively. They are all standard night-level experts. The Wet Woman once saw them make their move from afar, and the power they possessed." She paused, a flash of shock from a memory crossing her eyes. "If they fight side by side, head-on, their strength is no weaker than the top forces of the Alawata Empire. Even on their own plates, they have all passed through them without exception. The overall national strength of the Zepin Kingdom is close to that of the Wulwan Empire, but they have the advantage in the number of powerful individuals." Su Peng rubbed his chin and sighed. "That's really troublesome." Uncle Yu's eyes widened. "What a pain. This time, they started the trouble first. They owe us, and we're just going to let it go without settling the score? I say, let's just charge straight there." He made a strong hand gesture. "We won't let others take advantage of us like we're easy targets. This time we acted in self-defense, and it's reasonable for us to wipe them out. Anyway, with our current strength, two white night-level experts aren't too troublesome." Although Zhang Yi's uniqueness index is 56,000 points, combined with his numerous cheat codes and extraordinary power, his true combat strength has reached the level of the Black Knight. Uncle Soyu was full of fighting spirit at this moment, believing that they would easily sweep away the country of Zepin, just as they had swept away the Zhu Rong clan. Liang Yu nodded in agreement. "Yes, Zhang Yi. Taking advantage of our recent return, we annihilated a large number of their alien troops, and their momentum is at its peak. Let's launch a full-scale attack and completely clean up this area of the East China Sea. After that, ordinary people won't have to worry about being harassed when they go out to sea to fish. Isn't that great? The ocean contains abundant resources and is also crucial to the eastern access point of the entire Huashu Kingdom, so of course we will not give it up." Bailey Chongqing tightened his grip on the bow, his voice steady. From a tactical perspective, the country by the lake suffered heavy losses this time. Their entire main force, which they just deployed, was wiped out in one move by you. They certainly won't be able to rebuild an offensive of the same caliber in the short term. Take this opportunity to counterattack and catch them off guard. To force them back to deeper waters. To secure a buffer zone for the East China Sea coast. The group quickly analyzed the tactical advantages clearly, one sentence at a time. Zhang Yi simply listened without immediately agreeing. He remained silent for a moment, then looked past the ravines and gazed at the coastline that had just calmed down. Xin, what do you think about this? Zhang Yi took a sip of hot coffee and asked Yang Xinxin for her opinion. Hearing the word tricky from her mouth indicates that things are not so simple. Clearly, the land by the lake does not have the two white knights as its foundation. What you're saying makes sense. Yang Xinxin spoke slowly, her cool gaze carrying absolute calm. But the country by the lake dares not make a move now. They haven't considered what will happen if we come back. In the wet woman's memory, there were several internal discussions among them. The faction hopes to continue to bide their time, hiding their main force under the islands and gradually wear down the coastal forces of the Huashu Kingdom through harassment tactics. The other faction advocates taking advantage of our long absence, while Huashu Kingdom is surrounded by other ancient civilizations and under pressure on multiple fronts to strike directly. This time, the latter faction won. Yang Xinxin continued speaking. They have two reasons for daring to take action. First, they've already placed something targeting Zhang Yi's brother in the Japanese archipelago. The power of the arrow of love and desire is no secret to the high-ranking officials of the Ngozapan Kingdom. They took precautions in advance, and some of their secrets are beyond the reach of someone of Neurome's level. A rash attack would only lead to falling into an unknown trap. Zhang Yi nodded in agreement. Although this is an era of heterosexuality, don't think that a high heterosexuality index means you're invincible. His abilities are mostly no secret. Aside from the new power he comprehended on the planet, his power over time and space in the netherworld had already been exposed at the Myriad Races Negotiation Conference. If the opponent's power is targeted, their combat strength will drop at lightning speed. For example, when he first fought against the 13 armed battle maidens, he was interfered with by their spatial shockwave, which directly restricted his use of the dimensional gate. Zhang Yi's rapid access to the Kingdom of Zhurong was due to his exploitation of information asymmetry. However, a country situated by a river must have taken precautions from the very beginning of the war. If you have twice the strength of the enemy, attack them. If you have 10 times their strength, surround them. To launch an attack while the enemy is on guard, you would need at least twice their strength. And even then, a victory would likely be a Pyrrhic one. This doesn't fit Zhang Yi's fighting style. Yang Xinxin continued. First, the attack on Tianhai City by the Zepin Kingdom was not a one-sided operation. There are also 4 ancient civilizations eyeing Huashu Kingdom from all sides. If we fail to conquer the Zepin Kingdom in a short time, we will be surrounded and attacked by 5 ancient civilizations. Then wait for other ancient civilizations to smell the blood and then attack together. That was the war they had truly been waiting for. Chapter 2658 Counterattack 2. Hearing this, Uncle Yu also frowned. So, going in to kill them might not necessarily result in a crushing defeat, but rather falling into their trap. Deng Shentong lowered his head secretly. He had also considered this point. All the Yuanming tribes that Zhang Yi had previously eliminated were planned long in advance, either by exploiting information gaps or by launching surprise attacks. Only when the other party is off guard can they be ambushed and swiftly taken down by someone who is not paying attention. But with a Ming who is fully on high alert, specifically targeting your bureau, Zhang Yi and his ilk might not only fail to capture the territory, but they themselves could also be in danger. Yang Xinxin nodded. If we make a rash move now, it won't be an advantage for us, but rather it will help us complete our plan. Now that Mars has acquired enough resources, Huashu Kingdom will no longer be an easy target for easy prying in the short term. Then we don't need to rush to give anyone an attitude. Let's stabilize our position first. They want to gamble. Let them endure the anxiety of waiting for our attack for a while longer. It's not too late to make our move when we've waited until they start to question their existence, and we're fully prepared. Yang Xinxin's words resonated deeply with Zhang Yi. As expected of a family member who has been through thick and thin for many years, she understands Zhang Yi's way of doing things very well. Zhang Yi did not become arrogant at all because his strength had increased and he had obtained a large number of new weapons and resources. The stronger one's power, the more stable one becomes, because the sense of awe in one's heart is even greater. After listening, Deng Shintong slowly revealed a slight smile. All right. For us, this is the first time we don't need to rush to prove anything. When you have confidence, you should learn to choose the right time and place. She then asked Zhang Yi, when are you planning to hold a meeting in the 6 major regions? How to allocate resources on Mars, how to avenge the distant Ming dynasty. We can't let everyone just guess. Zhang Yi glanced at the newly renovated Tianhai city and then at the horizon where the sea meets the sky in the distance. No need to rush. Time is on our side. Everyone take a good rest today and don't think about any messy things. Next, let's start by deconstructing the technology of the Sandsweeper Ming. Our weapon systems must be completely upgraded. Our cities must be transformed based on the technology of the Aihen clan engineers. Once these preparations are in place, we'll gather the top executives from the 6 major regions together. Back then, when we held meetings, we didn't discuss how to defend, but how to attack. How can we make those people who have always treated us like pushovers start to seriously consider being eaten up by us? As she spoke, her gaze finally settled on the sky above the East China Sea. After the carnage, the sea returned to its surface calm. But everyone knows that something else is hidden deep inside. Zhang Yi glanced at the sea and said calmly, let's put the country by the lake aside for now. I'll settle this score after I've sorted out what I'm dealing with. Let them live well these next 2 days. The longer they live, the more afraid they become. When I decide to make my move, what I will give you is utter despair, with absolutely no chance of escape. To nip in the bud and wipe it out completely. That's true revenge. The sea breeze caressed the newly built city walls of Tianhai City. The Martian-inspired architecture refracts the sunlight, casting a cold, metallic glow. After 2 years of hard work, this city has finally gained real strength for the first time. Everyone knew that from this moment on, the rhythm of Huashu Kingdom was no longer determined by others. The fighting over Tianhai City has long since ended. The newly built Martian defense tower stands silently, its engraved patterns shimmering with a faint light, enveloping the entire city in a veil of light. One of the biggest features of the advanced technology is speed. Without the need for human labor, a large army of mechanical life forms can transform Tianhai City in a single day. Sturdy and powerful, the most powerful fortress city in the history of 6 generations of humankind was born. Zhang Yi withdrew his gaze, turned around and nodded to Deng Shintong and Xuanwu. Everyone have a good rest. The Shadow Unit is returning to its original units. Everyone in Tianhai City, get a good night's sleep and have a good meal. Deng Shintong's dark circles revealed a hint of unease. We can't let our guard down. We've all rested. What if the enemy attacks? Leave the defense of the city to us. He raised his hand and pointed to the horizon where the sea met the sky in the distance. In that area that should have been empty, thin blue rays of light quietly appeared. The light seemed to be drawn from the void, a scene of Zhang Yi's dimensional gate opening. In a second, a series of cold and aloof figures emerged from the doorway. Their bodies are more streamlined than the older models of the Songyuan clan's steel soldiers, with more restrained lines and an outer shell made of dark silver metal. The joints were inlaid with light blue energy rings, and the eyes were just a thin band of light running across the head. Within each body, the cold, hard logic of the Martian mechanical world is at work. Zhang Yi brought back more than 3,000 of these Sandsweeper robots from Mars, and Liu Karen has already fully repaired them. However, the only one currently in use is the platform. Because each Sandsweeper robot's combat power is comparable to that of an Epsilon-level inhuman, its energy consumption is enormous, so Zhang Yi has to use it with caution. Even though has already obtained most of the resources of the entire planet Mars, will not waste any resources. The Sand Raider robots of the Gungu terrain are enough to guard the entire Tianhai city. They patrolled along the newly built city walls, their steps orderly and their movements precise. Countless tiny detection bees detached from the bodies of the drones, like a flock of gray electronic birds, and scattered across the airspace hundreds of kilometers around Tianhai City, weaving an even denser surveillance network once again. Xuanwu stared at the scene and couldn't help but open his mouth wide. These guys give me a somewhat scary feeling. It's quite rare to hear the word terrifying from the mouth of the top combat force in the East China Sea region. But Xuanwu was telling the truth. Those sand-sweeping robots made him sense danger. Zhang Yi also frankly stated, these guys, in terms of individual combat ability, are probably only equivalent to entry-level Epsilon Inhumans with an ability index of around 10,000. However, the more of them there are, the stronger they become. Don't get me wrong, it's not as simple as 1 + 1 is equal to 2. As their numbers increase, their combat power increases exponentially. The creatures will continuously evolve during battles, and their coordination will be perfect. Therefore, they can achieve a synergistic effect where 1 + 1 greater than 2. Upon hearing this, Xuanwu couldn't help but gasp. I suddenly feel like we're like cavemen. Here ends today's chapter. I hope you liked it. Kindly do also subscribe to my gaming channel. I have to Fina a way to survive. Thanks.
Alright, that's it for today's chapter. Tell me in the comments which part you enjoyed the most. If you love manga style stories, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Buzz Play Manga. See you in the next chapter with more surprises. Thank you.